He's never fought us. Not us united.
I can so see that. That's it. Welcome to Under Two Capes, and oh boy, did we just have a doozy of a pre-stream conference. Oh god. I'm Jared.
It was fabulous.
I'm Jared. I'm here with the Comics League crew and my web designer Tyler. What's up, Tyler?
Hey, what's going on? He brought me from out of the basement to come up here and talk to you people. How you doing?
Wait, Jared, is this your Spider-Man?
You mean my guy in the chair?
No, he's your Spider-Man. He said he's your web designer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
A little on the nose, but I'll accept it.
So today we're talking about the best DC animated projects. I would have said Marvel too, but Marvel's not known for good
Killing joke.
Get him out for that.
Roll the clip. Roll the clip.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I might as well. Where's a good clip that I can play for Nick that properly? Oh, I got it.
Dweeb.
It's the best movie ever, especially with the way they handle Batman and Batgirl.
Okay, now you're just trying to piss him off.
I mean, it's working, isn't it?
You're gonna have to play that clip.
You think that's funny? I don't hear you laughing now.
Play that Nick clip, Jared.
Okay, now back on track. All right. So let's start with the DCAMU. Actually, no, DCAU, because that's what everyone is going to talk about. That's like Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League, the stuff you and I have watched.
okay.
You goddamn right.
Well, if we're talking about the DCAU, we gotta start off with literally this is a contender for the greatest not only greatest.
Nick, I
movie.
got it.
No. Here, JJheat, let me cook.
Okay.
Not only the greatest, one of the greatest, animated movies, but also probably one of the greatest Batman movies, Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Definitely.
I thought you were going to say Killing Joke again, Nick, so I had my mouse hovering over the mute button right about now.
No. I was being serious that time.
So, Mask of the Phantasm, it's a movie that takes place, I'd say, it's before Batman becomes Batman.
Just before. So what they establish is there's this girl that Bruce Wayne knew in his past named Andrea Beaumont. And she was they were very much in love to the point where he was considering not becoming Batman and just going with her. And he told us there's this great scene where he's at his parents' grave and he goes, I need to know it's okay that I be happy and not do this whole mission.
I guess you could say that she was his beau.
So she becomes a supervillain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, named the Phantasm. So that's the Mask of the Phantasm.
And this Phantasm has a mask.
Yes, thank you, Nick.
And a cape.
And
a
a
claw.
Hand. So
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, this is actually really cool. Now,
I've gotten into 80s movies.
Yeah. No, but let's talk about the granddaddy of them all, Batman the Animated Series. Because if you want to talk about a series that practically defined superhero animation or superheroes in general, it's Batman the Animated Series.
Before we move on, a quick moment of silence for Kevin Conroy.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah, the voice
of Batman for anything. So yeah, because do you know the origin from Mr. Freeze, Tyler?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, you know what? That was
That's
the one part. Wait. You made JJheat walk off the stream. So, all right. So,
all right, everybody, chill.
That was the one.
I like this guy.
Thank you. The one part that they did get right is the origin, and that his wife had a degenerative disease. He froze her to preserve her life so he can research how to. But
Cure her, basically.
medical equipment is expensive as hell, so we had to turn to a life of crime to finance his research.
See, everyone thought that Victor had a heart of ice, but he really didn't.
That's a reference to the fact that his episode is called Heart of Ice.
Oh.
No,
I have no shame. That's also a fact.
Oh, I've known for a long
Speaking of shame,
I've known you for a year. I'm pretty sure at this point I know you have no shame.
and
None
speaking
whatsoever.
of shame, during the One Bad Day series line, they kind of turned Mr. Freeze into some kind of controlling asshole for some reason.
Yeah. Okay. So what DC did is they published a bunch of Elseworlds like out of continuity books, so it's not like canon.
Oh.
Where it was, and by Teladia canon. So it was each of these stories was gonna tell a story from the perspective of Batman's rogue. So it's like the Riddler, the Mr. Freeze one. They turn him into a controlling husband. Like he doesn't like his wife to go out alone. He likes her to be only in the house. It went from the guy who's devoted to his wife and wants to cure her of an incurable disease to I froze her so she wouldn't leave the house.
Isn't that like the modern version of Mr. Freeze in the comics right now?
No. Because they undid that real fast.
Almost immediately.
Because when they rebooted with the new 52, and JJheat can back me up on this, that they briefly changed Mr. Freeze's origin, so Nora Freeze was actually just an actress and he was a stalker. They undid that real fast.
Why would they even play with that?
I don't know, dude.
Stupid.
They were trying to set up Nora as her own entity, and it just didn't work.
It's almost like it was a really bad idea, and they realized that too late.
So you could say you could say DC had multiple bad days.
Boo.
Yeah, you could really say they put that idea on ice.
Now,
There you go. Okay, you know what, Nick? I'll give you this.
See, that's one way to break the ice, right, Jared?
There you go. So, I mean, see, here's and when you hear people talk about their definitive version of Batman, inevitably it gets to that animated series. Inevitably it gets to there.
To some
Kevin
degree.
Conroy is the GOAT, and I will not hear a word different.
Yes. Animated, yes. And by the way, that's where Harley Quinn came from. She was originally the character that was the Joker's sidekick. She was supposed to be a one-episode character. She got so popular that she started showing up in more stuff. And then eventually they brought her into the comics, and then we have Margot Robbie playing her in DC.
What's the matter, Mr. J? Don't you want to rev up your Harley? Vroom, vroom.
God damn it.
That's what she actually says. By the way, that's an actual line. And Nick, PG.
I think Livewire.
I didn't say anything. I literally did not say a single word that was inappropriate.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
You all just have really dirty minds.
The 2000s were just a great time for television.
no, but you know,
Why
but
don't
you
you-
know,
the 90s.
You hear what he said? I played that clip with Darkseid, and he goes, "Is that Mother?"
I got him confused with the other guy. They look similar.
Jared, where's your shepherd hook? We need to get this guy out of here.
I'm only kidding. But anyway,
use the pitchfork, poke him.
Use a trying to start bludgeoning.
Hello, officers. I'd like to report a murder that happened down in Florida. Yes.
Yes, he murdered my enthusiasm.
Florida man literally went Florida man.
But you know, I'll say this, right?
Yeah,
I'll say this.
Claudia.
The reason why Kevin Conroy is the definitive Batman, and people say that all the time, is because of not only because of the animated show and because of the movie, is because his portrayal. People listen to his voice, hear his voice in their heads, in comic books, video games, you name it, right? And Batman: Mask of the Phantasm is probably one of the best Batman films ever made. Theatrically, by the way.
When it was actually released theatrically and it was animated. Yeah, inevitably, when you ask someone to give their top 5 Batman movies, Phantasm will be on that.
Yeah.
Every bit. If not top
Batman
10
movies.
at worst.
You don't even have to say animated, just Batman movies. And it's on my list, certainly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's on my list too. It's like it's not up for debate. It's up there.
So then we get to Superman the animated series, which I definitely dug because I'm a Teladia. You and I, we're Superman guys. Yeah, there you go. But
shout out to Tim Daly for providing the voice.
Yes, my one complaint is when they didn't want to use Hal Jordan, so they changed the origin with another Green Lantern. So I'm like, that doesn't.
The
work.
Tomorrowverse did the same thing. So
yeah, so I'm like, it's a common thing, and I get it. It was still a fantastic show. The reason why these shows work, Tyler, and why I think that they're so beloved, because they introduced all the DC lore in such a simple to understand way. They gave an entire 2-part episode explaining the history of Darkseid and the New Gods.
Oh.
It's called Apocalypse Now. I figured you'd appreciate the title.
I just know the newer stuff is crap.
Jared, the reason why they had to bring Kyle in is because they're under mandate to rein things in.
You could say it's a reign of the Supermen.
No, but
Jared, you are not
okay. Though for those who do not get the joke, the character's name is Kyle Rayner, so I was just making a really bad pun.
It's pronounced Rayner.
Rayner, yeah. But the cool thing is
Wonder
about
Bat.
Indeed, but save that for Justice League.
Even I know you can't say that.
Batman doesn't do ships.
According to Jared, he does.
No, he does with Catwoman.
No, not with Nightwing.
You might have to break up the Gotham Knights with Teladia.
Actually,
that out.
Actually, if we're gonna get serious for a moment, I'm with Jared on this one. Batman belongs with Catwoman.
Thank you. You know what, Nick? You know what, Nick?
A man.
There you go. So anyway, but the thing about it, yes, they managed to break it down in such small chunks that anyone can get it. And plus, Nick, you and I do the Justice League rewatch show like every week. They deal with really heavy topics like war, feminism, but appropriately. Like the Iraq, they have an analogy for the Iraq War in there, but they do it in such a way that it doesn't feel heavy-handed because they're actually talented creatives at these that were doing these shows. It's like
it's almost like they actually wanted to tackle the topics in a thoughtful manner instead of just cramming it down our throats.
Yeah, exactly. It's like and that gets into Justice League because see, here's the thing with Superman. Actually, it went Batman, then Batman Beyond. Which Nick, you're more of the Batman Beyond aficionado. Do you want to explain to Tyler what Batman Beyond is?
All right. So, Batman Beyond takes place roughly about 50 years in the future, where an aging Bruce Wayne has retired from being Batman. Mm-hmm. The show starts with like Bruce's last mission, and he's trying to rescue a hostage situation, and he literally starts having a heart attack mid-fight, and he's forced to use a gun to fend off an attacker. Now, obviously, at the very least, this version of Batman is anti-gun, and he was so horrified that he had to use a gun to do this that he literally stopped being Batman that night. Flash forward about 20, 30 years, and he had this young man named Terry McGinnis, who he's a bit of a street punk, comes from a broken home, all that stuff. And after being chased, so this is like a cyberpunk future, Neo Gotham, kind of thing. And so he gets chased by some Jokers because the Jokers are now kind of like a gang of like Joker type people. And he kind of ends up in Bruce Wayne's backyard. So he finds out that Bruce is Batman. And some stuff is happening with his dad because the Wayne Industries was effectively taken over by Powers. I mean, it's called Wayne Powers, but, Bruce Wayne has nothing to do with it, really. So this guy named Derek Powers.
So wait. So, Nick, you're telling me that a guy named Powers took over a corporation?
By the way, I'm essentially just paraphrasing the first episode, but yeah.
That's fine. I love that silence that followed that clip.
I had to I had to go back in time because the butt cancer was growing, so I had to get it removed.
But anyways, go on, Nick.
Anyway, so his dad is kind of it works for Wayne Powers, and they're like doing this like bio weapon kind of thing, and his dad gets killed for stuff, and so basically Terry steals a suit. He's gonna confront Powers, and Bruce initially like paralyzes him, but he starts helping him. You know, Bruce becomes like his guy in the chair, and they stop it. Powers gets exposed to it, but he has to get a radiation treatment, so he becomes the villain Blight, who's basically the villain of like the first season. And it kind of ends with Bruce Wayne showing up at his mother's house where he's staying, and Bruce Wayne essentially offers him a job. Like, so to the public, he's just Bruce Wayne's assistant. But that's just an excuse for him to like be close to Bruce Wayne. And so now he's the new Batman, and Bruce Wayne is his guy in the chair mentor, basically.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. So the reason why we had to bring that
JJheat, that was perfect.
Thank you. So the reason why I had to bring up that show is because not only is it the show that came out after Batman the Animated Series, but it also is the first introduction of the League, because there was a Justice League in that time period. The only like mainstay is Superman, because so it doesn't really affect him. So then we get to Justice League Unlimited.
Wait! I have to say this. You'll outlive us all, Bruce.
You're too stubborn to die.
Well, I guess that proved.
JJheat, that was also perfect. You're 2 for 2.
Bloody
If you want
hell,
to see more
Jake.
of my voice acting, check out New Direction. That is all
This
I'm going
new-
to say.
Yeah, that's all it is. But it's good. But so in Justice League, this is where they bring in like Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, Martian Man.
Oh, I know that show.
Flash. Yeah, that's the go. And then Unlimited, they like dramatically expanded it to like every DC character practically is in this show.
Yeah, it was the one with the crazy, awesome theme, right?
Yeah.
I have to do this. Unlimited characters.
Like this?
Phoenix, if you're going to say it right.
There you go. You teed me up for that so well, Nick. So I appreciate that. There you go.
So I'll say this though, when it comes down to the DCAU, when it comes down to like the early 2000s, the show like really lived up to its expectations.
Yes.
Right. Fans' expectations. The show lasted from 2001 to 2004, 2005, I'd say.
2006. Technically, the DCAU in general lasted for about 14 years, starting with BTAS in 1992. But it pretty much ended by the time Justice League Unlimited wrapped up.
Yeah, that was.
I feel like I'm getting nostalgia punched here because I remember those shows were amazing.
Yeah,
and
they
DC
were.
and Marvel and Cartoon Network can't put out stuff like that today. They for some
By
reason.
the way, if we're
no.
talking, guys, if we're talking about the DCAU, we gotta talk about Static Shock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Static was
Wait,
so,
you said Static Shock?
that's the name
Oh,
of the
that
show.
was an OG cartoon too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why that show is special is because
This guy has really good taste in cartoons. I just
He
want to
does.
say
I
that.
Thank
grew up
you.
on that, but I didn't remember until you brought it up. I'm just getting.
he's the dude, by the way, who we watched every episode of the Halo show together.
Oh my
and
god!
he's the one from episode 1 who predicted the Chief would sleep with Maquis. This dude right here.
I pulled it out.
The
my
very
phone.
fact that you got through the Halo show in general, you are a trooper, my friend.
Oh my god! I just
Tyler, let me
Yeah.
tell you something, right? I made Jared, because it was a April Fool's thing. I made him sit through 3 episodes of Gotham Knights, and it
no,
was
you
fun for
didn't.
me.
No,
It was-
that was for you, and you didn't even. Actually, you know what? So I assigned them a movie and a comic. They didn't do the comic. So you only get half credit.
Wait, was that where Nick had to watch the Superman 4
I-
Quest for Peace?
No,
That
that was
was
JD.
me.
Oh,
That was
was
JD.
me.
Sorry.
I
Ugh.
showed him the replay of like all of our rants turning into like our positive reviews turning into utter hatred.
I'm really proud of mine.
Yes, yours was great. You actually sounded like someone that's on Twitter to defend Captain Marvel. Which, by the way, and we'll talk about this on CLD. She's coming back as a mutant, Ms. Marvel.
Oh.
As synergy for the show.
So anyway,
Nobody saw that coming.
yeah. So back to this. I'll explain later. So, so Static Shock. The reason why that's important is because in, I think it was the 90s, JJheat. When did Milestone start up?
Milestone debuted, I think 93, I want to say. 92,
All right,
93.
So the idea of Milestone was a bunch of minority creators coming together to support each other, and they made their own universe. One of those characters was Static. Who here wants to explain the origin story for Static?
No,
I'll do it. I'll take a shot.
I'm tapping out.
Yeah, I'll take a shot at it. Basically, as an allegory to what was going on in the 90s, a bunch of essentially an altercation broke out. That's probably the cleanest I could say this. Chemical gases were exposed, and Beanie Babies, which was Milestone's version of metahumans, to where they get
Bang Babies, I think.
Oh, Bang
Babies. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, Beanie Babies was a trend, a collectible in the late 90s.
That my grandma had to mention crap ton of those.
Holy crap! I'm sorry.
I still have a few Beanie Babies around here somewhere.
Of course you do, Nick, because you're old.
Frick you, Jared, frick you.
I regret nothing.
See, that's how good a show is when you just say that, and I just remember it just like that.
There you go.
That was a great show.
But
this is a great show.
What was that?
Go on, JJheat.
This is a great show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Okay. As I was saying, essentially you have this altercation, the gas explodes, the majority, including Static, and Static wasn't even going to be a part of it. Static was going to Virgil, that's his real name. Virgil was going to chicken out. He just gets caught in the chaos.
The chicken.
I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Yes. Quite mighty, Max.
But Virgil gets exposed too. His school bully gets exposed, and the whole series is just a Static pretty much chasing the other Beanie Babies and making sure they stay out of trouble. I think he ends up being paired or has a romantic interest with one of them, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But and this show was also iconic for me, not just, and I want to be on camera for this, not just in terms of the large actual representation, but also Gear stuck out to me. Gear stuck out very well to me as a character. He felt human. They didn't really go into too much detail. They didn't really confirm anything due to censorship constraints by the network at the time. But you could tell Gear was nuanced.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's essentially what that show was. So that's the DCAU. That was like the first animated whole world that DC made.
Yeah, and there's a few other shows kind of in there, but we don't really.
Those are the core three. Those are the core three. Though there are some major storylines that are iconic to this day, such as Star-Crossed, Cadmus, Legacy.
So many. So
there's so many. Yeah, there's too many to list off.
Also, JJheat, I see what you did there. Bravo.
Yeah. So now we're going to put up. So then we have interspersed at this time. DC started doing a bunch of original animated movies, which are oftentimes one-off movies, like The Death of Superman. They would do.
Wait. You're getting into the mid 2000s. You're missing one very important DC cartoon, one really glaring omission.
Oh yeah, Teen Titans.
Teen Titans
you know who to call.
I'm gonna get copyright strike, boys. But anyway, Teen Titans is all the teenage superheroes: Robin, Starfire, Beast Boy, Cyborg.
I know, because I watched that, and that was
there
amazing. And the new Teen Titans sucks.
I love you. You're awesome.
Obviously, the new crap they put out sucks.
Because that's not.
Tyler, I agree with you there.
Based parody of DC, but anyway, then we have that show, which is really cool. It covers a lot of DC topics. By the way, so the main villain's name is Slade, right? His actual DC name is Deathstroke. It's just in a children's cartoon.
He was the dude with the mask and the samurai sword.
Yeah, it's just in a kid's cartoon. You can't have a character whose first name is Death.
Oh yeah.
So they're but that's who.
They couldn't really call him Stroke because that's even worse.
Yeah.
But, and it's kind of funny. Deadpool is a straight up rip off of him because Deadpool's name is Slade Wilson. Is Wade Wilson. Deathstroke's name is Slade Wilson.
Oh.
And Deathstroke debuted first in the Marv Wolfman and George Perez run. Deadpool came out in
New Teen Titans issue 2. New Teen Titans issue 2.
There you
Deathstroke
go.
and Terminator.
Yes, he was called.
And I'm probably going to get flagged by Nick for saying this. Teen Titans 03 pretty much adapted the new Teen Titans run in a very simplistic and childish way. It's still good, but compared to the source material, it's pretty kiddie.
Yeah, JJheat, why would I give you flack when you're absolutely right?
Huh. Indeed.
I love how, like, the one time I'm positive and, like, not trying to be mean, that's when I get the awkward pause.
Well, it's because we were so taken aback, Nick. But anyway, so that was Teen Titans. I watched the crap out of that show back in the day.
I remember Robin had like a vendetta against Slade. Slade!
Yes, exactly.
But you know what's so cool about Teen Titans, like the old 3 show, was the fact they never introduced Batman.
Never.
I think
Once.
the closest we got is during the Robin arc where he's like Slade's apprentice.
Haunted.
He robs like where he robs Wayne Enterprises, and like that's the big reveal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I already have a
reference
father.
that Batman exists in this universe because you have to have a Batman to have a Robin, but they don't show him. The purpose of that is because these characters should be able to stand on their own if the story's good. Because if you
the Bat embargo was in place during this time.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain what the Bat embargo is, JJheat?
Wait, Teladia.
Basically,
No, wait. Can Teladia do it because he hasn't had a chance to speak much?
So
yeah, go ahead.
The way it happens is that Warner Brothers and DC were like, well, you can't put such an IP into your show. They had to separate it, basically. And it's kind of dumb, in my opinion, having Teen Titans not be a part of the Justice League, a DCAU universe, right? Because I think it would fit well in that.
Right.
But the fact remains, it's that it's separate. And I think it was round about the time when Warner Brothers and DC were, because Christopher Nolan was coming in for the Batman Begins film, and he wanted separate things. He didn't want everything to connect. So that's how like the Batman embargo thing happened, where basically you can't use that IP in a different project, so to say, right? Or connect them together, basically.
Because the concern was it would confuse the audience if you have Batman in one project and another project. Yeah. So they were like, okay. But so then we get to, so they started doing a bunch of one-off animated movies. But remember I told you that after Flashpoint, DC rebooted the continuity?
Right.
So what they did was they had a bunch of companion movies that were basically adapting the same stories as the actual comic books.
Well, that came later because there was a whole, like, you're missing about 5 years worth of animated movies before we get to the
True. Okay, so before that, so a bunch of one-off movies. A few of the ones that they actually did was this one story called Batman, Superman, Public Enemies, where Lex Luthor's the president of the United States, and he has and he basically makes it look like Superman is turning evil. He's not, but he basically like manipulates the media to make Superman look like the bad guy.
Oh, another movie we need to talk about: Superman, Batman, Apocalypse.
I'm getting to that, Nick. Actually, that was a fantastic segue. And the matter of the fact, here's our segue animation. Ew. So, yeah, thank you. So, in Apocalypse, so it's technically a sequel to Public Enemies because the two comics that they're based on are sequels. That's when Supergirl is introduced for the first time since the universe rebooted in the very beginning of DC in 1985. So
basically, it's a post-crisis origin.
Yeah, she crash lands in the middle of Gotham, and she's like a teenage kid, doesn't speak any English or anything like that, and she shows up on Earth because the idea of Supergirl is that she was supposed to be Cal's protector on Earth. They kind of played on that in the Flash movie, but he saw the Flash with me. So the idea was, so she she expects Cal to be a baby. But he shows up as like an adult guy,
a big baby,
and now, yeah, exactly. So now now he's her protector. So it kind of reverses the roles,
right?
So, and then you also have a Batman who is naturally being Batman and being very like distrustful of her because it's like as far as they know, she's just some alien that showed up and said, "I'm your cousin."
Jared,
yeah.
I need to do this. You just broke a $50,000 computer. Send it to my bill on a reporter's salary.
Yeah, there you go. So in that thing, when Supergirl first shows up, she like destroys a monitor in the Batcave, and Batman says that, and Superman goes, "Don't worry, I'll replace." And the Batman's like, "On a reporter's salary."
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
you're
not
never
the
getting
joke.
paid back, Bruce.
So then, to help her train with her powers, she's somewhat forcibly taken to Themyscira and trained by Wonder Woman. Then she's captured by Darkseid.
Oh no!
And then she's turned evil.
Oh no!
Don't worry, she's turned good.
Oh yeah!
Oh yes! Oh yes! I love that. Oh no! Oh no! Oh yes! That's so good.
Jared, to be fair, you literally not only do you set it up, you open the door for him to do it.
Yeah,
So.
I appreciate that. But then, so Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and a former commando of Darkseid's named Big Barda.
Okay.
They break into Darkseid's little fortress, and they get Kara back.
But then
you can slam me against the wall anytime.
Okay, so anyway,
God damn it, Nick.
So Batman threatens to nuke Apocalypse and say,
"Best scene ever.
Let the girl go, or I will detonate a bomb here." And then Batman Batman goes,
"You dare?"
No wait,
Omega
Darkseid
XL.
goes, wait. Let me do it. Batman's he tells Batman, "You don't have the activation code." Batman proceeds to give him the activation code, and then Darkseid's like, "Well done, Batman. If it were the Amazon or the Kryptonian, I wouldn't believe they would do it. But I know you would do it."
Huh. You're missing like a few steps there. So he tosses sorry. He's tossing Batman around. He says, "I could obliterate you with just one blast of mega means." And he's got him like by the throat against the wall. He's like, "Swear cars the world." And he's like it's a test of wills. And like he smiles and he's like, "Well, play." Like you kind of like miss a few steps to really show just how big of a deal that this moment is.
If the Amazon or the Kryptonian had taken that gamble, they would have lost.
But
Also,
you know what?
Jared,
Sorry.
I'm going to say this. Ray Porter may have some run for his money as the voice of Darkseid, because whoever voiced Darkseid was amazing in this movie.
Yeah, that's true. But go on, Teladia.
I was going to say, the fun fact is Kevin Conroy, Susan Eisenberg, I think it was George Newbern who played the voice acting of in that movie.
Of the Trinity, yeah.
Of the Trinity,
in other words, the same actors who did the Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman in the animated and like BTAS and Superman and Justice League, they voiced the characters in this movie too.
Oh,
Wait, Tim Daly wasn't the voice of Superman in Justice League?
Hmm?
Tim Daly wasn't the voice of Superman in Justice League?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
No, he was recast.
It sounded like him, but I think he was recast.
No, it's down to scheduling conflicts. That's why
okay.
That's why they recasted him because of that.
All right.
Oh.
There's one thing when we were talking about the DCAU that I forgot to mention. It ends with a badass fight between Superman and Darkseid. And let me do the line, please, because this is my favorite Superman moment of all time.
Okay.
Superman basically beats the crap out of Darkseid and goes, "I feel like I live in the world. I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard. Always afraid to hurt something or hurt someone. And I have to hold myself back because if I let go, even for a moment, someone could die." He punches Darkseid and goes, "But you can take it, can't you, big man?" What we have here is a perfect opportunity for me to show you how strong I really am. And he punches Darkseid so hard, there's like a sonic boom, and Darkseid flies through like 3 buildings.
Oh,
It's one of the best moments, and I want I want them to #sell the Snyderverse to Netflix so we could see Henry Cavill say it to Darkseid.
he is Superman.
He is. There you go.
Jared, you know what I'm going to do if I ever meet Henry Cavill at like a convention? I'm going to have him read that speech just for you.
Please. Thank you. Record it, and there you go.
Also, I want to interject that I am not huge into the DC, Marvel, whatever, but the fact that they got rid of Henry Cavill, which I think is quintessentially Superman, is stupid. Completely stupid.
At first, I was like, rah, but then I was like, he can stay.
Yes, thank you.
Let's just say James Gunn and they wanted to go into a new direction. I'm sorry. You gave me the perfect setup for that.
Nice, JJheat.
No, James.
New Direction is a YouTube series that JJheat and I do where we're making our own DC universe out of comics.
Oh, it's a lot better than,
It's a lot better.
Well, than inhaling the internet gas.
He knows what Snowflake
Well
and
played,
Snowflake
Tyler. Well played.
Yeah, thank you.
I thought that was made up, but no, apparently it's
no,
real.
it's real. Well, it turns
real.
out JJheat and I have a can on our desk that says internet gas on it. So anyway, so we have that. So we got so we have Apocalypse. We also have Superman Doomed, which was a bastardization of the Death of Superman comic. I say bastardization because the first half of it is good. Then they do the whole Superman was cloned by Lex Luthor, but turned. Here's the way a lot of DC movies go. You ready? They're adapting a comic like Doomed, and they decide, well, we're going to adapt the Death of Superman. Half the movie is the Death of Superman, and then the rest of it is some writer saying, "Oh, I can improve it," and then they just proceed to ruin it.
Spoiler alert: they did not improve it.
Yeah, like in The Killing Joke. And JJheat's saying it's called Superman Doomsday. Okay, good. They also did this one that's based on the best Superman story of all time, All-Star Superman, where Superman is dying, actually dying. He got poisoned by the sun, but by some the thing of Lex Luthor. The point is he's gonna die. Oh. So it's all about Superman
found out there is such a thing as too much of a good thing.
Yes, exactly. So this is Superman on his last week of life, and it's kind of funny. Nothing changes. He just keeps helping people. It's amazing. That's when you have this scene. That's one of the best Superman moments of all time. I can't believe it was in the animated movie, where this girl's about to jump off a building because she's depressed and all that stuff. She's about to unalive herself. Superman appears behind her and goes, "You are so much stronger than you could possibly think you are." And then she hugs him.
Oh,
so there you go. I can't believe that wasn't in the animated movie. But anyway, so they leave out important scenes like that. Or in the case of, go ahead.
There's another big DC animated movie we need to talk about.
Injustice. I'm only kidding.
That was kind of cool.
Under the Red Hood.
Red Hood.
Oh yeah, Under the Red Hood.
No.
Wait. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I've told you how Superboy Prime punched Jason Todd back to life. This is kind of like that.
I guess you could say Superboy Prime really brought him to life.
Yeah.
Not your best work, Nick. Not your best work.
No, even I agree with you.
Go on, Teladia.
I was going to say that before we talk about Under the Red Hood, obviously JJheat mentioned Superman Doomsday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still believe to this day Superman Doomsday is, because of its animation style, is part of the DCAU.
They said it's not.
But in my eyes.
No, it's
fine. If we're gonna talk about DCAU adjacent stuff, we gotta talk about Fatal 5.
And Crisis on Two Earths.
So what they kind of. So what they did is that they had a sequel movie for the DCAU, Justice Unlimited, called Justice League versus the Fatal Five. It introduces this group called the Legion of Superheroes. They're basically the 25th century, I think.
Year 3000. Yeah,
they're the Justice League of the year 3000. They go back in time to stop some villains known as the Fatal Five.
Duck Dodger's in this?
What?
Duck Dodger's in the 25th and a half century?
No.
Oh, okay.
So this is where
I can't believe I'm old enough that I actually got that reference.
So am I.
Well, of course, Nick, because when you were a kid, you were riding dinosaurs, right?
I know. That's how we got to school.
Exactly. And you were screaming "Yabba Dabba Doo."
I mean, you weren't cool unless you had a Kentucky Brown Rex. Everything else was just
So anyway, this is also where we introduced my favorite Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz, and the way I like her. So you know how Green Lanterns have the whole ability; they have to not feel fear. She's agoraphobic. And the Green Lantern ring comes to her because it says you have the ability to overcome great fear. And she's like, what do you mean I have this ability? I don't know how to do that.
Bloody great.
And she had to like she essentially had to have the confidence in herself to overcome her fear. So I find that storyline very compelling. So then we have Justice League Crisis on Earth when this is a, we always say adjacent to the DCAU is because, what's the word? It was supposed to be canon, but then for story reasons they couldn't make it canon. So what they did is that so the Justice League meet their. I've explained to you. I've explained to you the concept of the multiverse, right?
Right.
In the multiverse, there's this Earth called Earth 3, where everyone's morality is flipped. So the Justice League are known as the Crime Syndicate. And by the way, Superwoman is the only tolerable version of Lois Lane. I had to say that right there just to screw with people, because everyone on this panel knows my feelings about that certain reporter.
Yes, we know.
We know. And on that note, Wonder Bat.
Oh! You're in timeout, JJheat. Just kidding. So,
Worth it.
in that movie, they basically have to fight their evil doppelgangers. That's
right.
what it is. So then we get to, and now I'm going to skip to, because there's just too many for me to talk about right now. We're only 45 minutes in, but
we still haven't we haven't talked about Under the Red Hood.
All right, we'll talk about Under the Red Hood. That will wrap it up. So Under the Red Hood, I've explained to you who Jason Todd is, right?
Yes.
He's the one that
the Red Riding Hood. Just kidding.
He's the one that's
all right, get him out of here. Get him out of here.
So Batman is like, so all of a sudden, so these criminals meet in a warehouse. They're like, I thought you called the meeting. I thought you called the meeting. Then all of a sudden a bag just falls right on the table, and there's a dude in a red hood that goes, okay, so listen, you all work for me now. Not negotiating. In the bag is all the heads of your lieutenants, and they open it up. It's actually the
oh, it's sick.
So this is Jason Todd.
That only took me 3 hours. Want to see what I can get done in a whole evening?
Oh,
yes, that's the line he said.
That's BA.
They go, you do realize you're dead, Red Hood, and he goes, you really want to tell that to the guy who was holding the AK-47?
Man, I feel like watching that.
Also, I just want to note, Red Hood is voiced by Jensen Ackles.
Yes. Who voice, by the way, he voices Batman in the Tomorrowverse.
Yeah, that's the most recent set of animated movies, but we're not going to get into that. Well, so Batman encounters this Red Hood guy, and then he's like, okay, so this guy knows so much about me, and he's trained like to a ridiculous level. Like Batman tries to like grapple onto his leg with the grappling hook, but Red Hood turns around and cuts the line before it has a chance to go taut. And he's like, there's only one person. There were only a few people in the world that could do that maneuver, and I trained all of them.
It's like Arkham Knight, basically. And if you don't know who this character is, congratulations. Welcome to your first Batman story.
That was the honest trailer for Arkham Knight, because it was Jason Todd, because it's like the Arkham Knight, who's a youngish sounding man who uses guns and has a vendetta against Batman. If you don't know who that is, welcome to your first Batman story, because that's like the most obvious one. So then Batman has to fight him, and then essentially Batman says, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry, I couldn't save you." And then Red Hood goes, "Is that what you think this is about, Bruce? I forgive you for my death.
Not saving me.
Yeah,
but why?
But
why on God's earth is he still alive?"
And then essentially,
the Joker.
Why is the Joker still alive? And then they have it, and this is where Batman says the most BS line ever.
What?
He goes, "If I kill one, I won't stop."
Okay, that's BS.
Yes, I'll kill everyone.
If there's anyone who deserves capital punishment, it's him.
Jared. It's like, you're a crime lord now. See, that's what you've never understood. You can't stop crime. I'm controlling it. I'm doing what you won't. I'm taking them out.
There you go.
Wow, someone with common sense logic.
I know.
Wow.
But everyone's like, but Jim Gordon would arrest Batman if Batman killed the Joker. No, he wouldn't, because guess what? According to self-defense law, that's valid.
Actually, if you read Hush, like literally, he's beaten the Joker senseless, and Gordon literally puts a gun to his head and says, "If you do this, I will hunt you down."
No,
so
but
canonically,
no.
Don't throw it all away. Not over him.
But wait, what I mean is that if this were a real scenario, Batman would be 100% justified. That's just a writer not understanding what the actual law says.
Yeah, but we're talking about in comics, and in the comics,
yeah. But here's the thing: that's kind of muddled too. My issue with the whole Red Hood Joker thing: Batman does not have to kill the Joker. Is there no capital punishment in Gotham?
The state of New Jersey pretty much outlawed the death penalty to that extent. So, and Gotham is based in New Jersey. So what can you do?
I never knew that until now.
So, I mean, really, the solution is really simple. You make the Joker a vegetable. You break his legs. You sit because Batman, and on multiple occasions, he's like he won't kill, but he'll go right up to that line. So you're telling me Batman won't just beat Joker senseless to the point where you are never walking again?
So you won't kill, but you're fine with traumatic brain injuries.
Let me put it this way.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much
Batman has thrown razor sharp batarangs at people. He's hit people with the Batmobile. So do you know how Batman killed this villain named KG Beast? You know what he did? He literally knocked him out and then built built 4 walls around him and just left him there in the sewers. He walled him up and said, "Hi."
Oh, I think it was the snow.
There was this one time, you know what he did? He broke the dude's neck so he couldn't move, and then left him in the snowy tundra.
I don't have to kill you, but I won't save you either.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, you're still killing him, dude.
To be fair, he did target Nightwing, and we got the Rick Grayson arc.
Okay, I have to say this, JJheat, because you mentioned that arc.
Why did you say that name?
So we're gonna wrap it up. I actually think it's a good idea since we didn't cover the DCAMU. Let's do a part 2 to this where we talk about all the DC movies we haven't talked about, because we didn't talk about Gotham by Gaslight. We didn't talk about what's the one that's like Batman versus Cthulhu.
Doom that came to Gotham.
Doom that came to Gotham. Yeah, exactly. It's Batman actually fights all the Lovecraft creatures.
That's a really good movie, honestly. Gotham by Gaslight's really good as well, too. By the way,
Batman versus Dracula, Batman versus Zeus.
Yeah. Gotham by Gaslight in a nutshell. It's Batman in Victorian England, and he's fighting Jack the Ripper.
Ooh.
So there you go. It's really fun. So on that note, everyone, comment below what your favorite DC animated project is. Tevia, we know exactly what you're going to put in there, but
yeah, we know.
More power to you. It counts. It's fine. But real quick, around the panel, I just want to ask you guys this one thing real quick. What is your number 1 favorite DC animated project that we've talked about on this show? Mine is Justice League. Nick?
It is, well, of course, there can only really be one. Killing Joke. I'm kidding. It is.
Nick, do you want to continue to have free promotion for your comics on Comic League?
Did you not hear me say I was kidding?
Yeah, I know, Nick. I'm like, some jokes just cross the line.
I'm just screwing with you. But no, seriously, it's under the Red Hood. With a very extremely close second being Mask of Phantasm.
Yeah, JJheat.
All of BTAS, but if I had to pick anything in general, I have to go with Under the Red Hood or Mask of the Phantasm, because they're both so good.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to revise mine. Mine is Justice League Doom. That's the one where one steals Batman's contingency plans for the Justice League. I'll explain that to you.
Yeah.
And then takes out the Justice League.
It's
so
basically
bad.
Tower of Babel, just with Vandal Savage instead of Ra's al Ghul. But other than that, it's the same story.
Teladia.
For me, sorry, I didn't catch what you say.
Okay, it's what is your number one favorite DC animated project up to the point with that we talked about today? Because I'll ask the same question again.
I would have to say, for me personally, it would have to be Batman Superman Public Enemy.
Okay, that's a great one. It's the one with Lex Luthor as the president. That is so. And let us know below your favorite DC animated project. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. It really helps us out. And real quick, I'll go around. Gentlemen, where can everyone find you and what have you got coming out on your channels? We'll start with Nick.
Well, you can find me on Twitter, search Stream Express, YouTube the same. Got my Resident Evil thing going on Saturday. Check that out. And then Avatar and Super Sister Brothers.
What's up, JJheat?
For me, I got my Transformers Rise of the Beast review coming out, but I have to sometime either this week or next week. But the Soul Tour playthroughs, those are coming back as well. I had to stock up on some movie ideas after I went on vacation. But also New Direction. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a video on New Direction for you guys out this week. What should we cover this week? Should we go straight to God Killer 2, or do you want to cover a few standalone ideas first?
I thought we were going to cover Suicide Squad.
Oh, that's right. We did Task Force X. We did cover. Yeah. Okay, so Task Force X, then God Killer 2.
Yeah.
Y'all are gonna have a God Killer 2 is gonna be fun.
So to give you an idea, because Tyler hasn't heard this, so we had a thing where mythologically accurate Thor, in other words, Thor as he actually is in mythology, but he's a beast, he's not the MCU fat Thor. He shows up and he murders the Justice League. Like, he's ripping people's limbs off. He tears Hawkgirl's wings off. It is a bloodbath to the point where JJheat and I turn to each other and we go, okay, so if we were actually doing this, would we get away with it? And I go, no.
It's going to be a good time.
Teladia.
I've got a video planned out for Marvel Spider-Man 2 reaction when the trailer drops for the story. I think it's the story trailer for San Diego Comic-Con next week. And I've also got a collab on Sil Abdul's channel where we'll be talking about gaming for DC and Marvel on his channel.
And real quick, I just want to congratulate Teladia on achieving 1,000 subscribers, dude. Congrats. You're there.
Yeah.
Congrats. We will all join you in Under the Sun. But as far as Comics League, remember, but by the time this goes live, we'll be in the middle of doing it. But we are going to rewatch Zack Snyder's Justice League all 4 hours. And we'll no, dude, this is the good cut.
That's the good one.
That's the good
never
one.
mind.
The good one is the 4-hour cut.
That's not the one with the mother.
No, it's not the one with mother. And then on Sunday, I have a collab. So first, I have Drew from Comics Elite. He's coming on the channel because I reviewed his book, Born of Blood. I mean, I read it, and he's going to come on and do a live review. And then after that, Wes from Thinking Critical, i.e. my first ever guest on Comics League, is going to come back on. We're going to talk comics and have a great time. And in terms of Monday, I am going to do a video probably talking more about, you know what? I'm going to talk about TBD. My next fan edit, by the way, is going to be a compilation of all the times Superman saves people in the Snyderverse. I can't believe I have to do this, but there's still people that say Superman never saved anyone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like,
let's be honest. You could literally shove that amazing edit in their face, and they'll be like, "No, he doesn't save people."
Yeah,
I know, but you know
what?
People
deny reality itself.
I just feel like this needs to be said. Both the DCAU and the DCEU, to an extent, modeled New Earth continuity. They did.
Or even the New 52 to a certain degree, even though Superman was with the horrible Lois Lane. I have to fit in digs at Lois Lane all the time, but everyone knows how I feel about that. But anyway, guys, stay heroic. By the way, memberships are incoming. They will be started up on this channel. I'm just establishing like the tiers and what's in there. I will say this. No matter what tier you get, you will be getting a bonus exclusive comic show called Comics League University. More details on that later. And by the way,
I like the name.
You should be. You had the idea for it. But I just want to say, guys, the very fact that
Comics League is at the point where it's monetized. That is still like really like
Crazy.
it's crazy to me because I remember the days when we were stuck on 32 subs and Lad and I didn't think we would get to this point. And then like all of a sudden gain traction.
Before we go, someone else is there some congratulations, Teladia?
I already did.
And also, I reached the algorithm's kind of screwing with me, but I did reach 160. So
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
See, we're all growing
Congrats,
together.
brother.
And that's the purpose of this little alliance of channels. You could say a Justice League of channels, because we're all here to help each other grow.
Oh,
Nice.
speaking of YouTube accomplishments, I gotta give a shout out to the last episode of my Resident Evil playthrough. Recently reached 200 views.
Nice.
So you know what?
Nice.
This is for all of us, boys. So on that note, everyone stay heroic, and I will see you in the next one.